You see, to be the practitioner is the lost art. When we look around us today, we see a world full of words, a world full of hypocrisy. And I sit here in my apartment here. As you can tell, I'm cleaning it up. I'm getting ready to leave. But not that long ago, just a few years ago, I left the house the day I turned 18 against what everyone in my life thought I should do. I saw nothing but hypocrisy around me. I saw nothing but misguidance around me. I saw no type of light, no type of hope, no type of success. So I took a chance on myself. I took a chance on the risk of believing, and my message to you today is about belief. It's about risking everything on the line for believing and knowing exactly who you are. So I don't make this content, I don't make my teachings for those who are confused, those who are lost. I truly don't believe that. I think that these videos I do are for those individuals who know exactly who you really are. Internally, you know. Internally, I knew at 17, at 16, at 15. I knew that I was destined to live a powerful, purposeful destiny. I knew that I was going to be successful. I knew that I had to put everything on the line for what I believed in. And the reality of that trait, the reality of that characteristic as a man, as we develop as men, is something that is omnipresent. It's something that will always be there. It's something that you have to constantly affirm to this world around you. See, I learned through the trials and tribulations from that day on to now. I was tested. It was put to the test. I was put through the fire to see, was I going to really put my character, really put my honor, my integrity first? Or was I going to crumble to the pressure of the outside world, especially in this Western world? I mean, it's so easy for you to go outside and give it all away, give it all up, give up your manhood, give up your balls, give up your hope, give up your belief, give up your dreams, give up your light. It's the easiest thing in the world to do. There's nothing easier in this world to do other than that, actually, especially in the Western world. So you fight this war day in and day out. And that's just what it is. That's just what we must accept. Though we still live a powerful, purposeful, beautiful life and destiny in spite of these things. But we're constantly attested. And I think that I know a divine test can come at any given point in time. At any given point in time, you could be interacting with the angel. At any given point in time, you could be interacting with the prime creator himself. I know this. At any given point in time, that which created you knows exactly what you're doing. And so in the midst of me figuring out, this thing that we call life and the various chapters that I've explored and documented so far, I was tested every step of the way. What was I tested to see? What will you be tested to see on the same journey that I'm telling you that you're already on? You'll be tested to see, are you a practitioner? Are you a liver? Or are you just a theorist? And for many years of my life, actually, I was a theorist. I was a theorist. I had one foot in, one foot out. And I believed in my theories. I believed in what I concluded about life. I believed in all the different miracles that I've seen and been a part of. I've believed in the unbelievable. I believed in the unimaginable. I have. But I wasn't necessarily a practitioner. And this is where many of us find ourselves at now, especially in the age of AI, the age of information. There's never been more information. There's never been a better path available to you readily right here on this channel, even on what to do. But in large, we've become slaves to the theory of what could be. And that's an idea we must reject. It's not an easy thing to reject. It's not an easy thing to overcome, but it is indeed a form of darkness because it creates decay. And we owe it to the world. Every last one of you seeing this here. In the past 3 years, this is what I've learned. Like I said, I left the house the day I turned 18 years old. Chaos erupted. I was alone, other than one individual. That'd be my grandmother. But I was alone in that I had to face who I was and who I wanted to be. I had to fight for it, as do you. That's not something special. That's not something that I even think is really that admirable. It's rare, but I don't think it should be. I think that this is something that every great man, even every great woman had to go through. Every great soul has to go through when you come to this domain. It is what it is. But nonetheless, I faced those things and I stood on who I said I was. I stood on what I believed in. I gave everything for it. I sacrificed anything for it, except my soul and except the character I was building as a man and the last name that I bear. We must always honor. And so through the journey, I wasn't perfect. You're not perfect. I don't advocate for perfection. I don't judge whatever phase you're in. We all have vices. We all have, including me, we all have things that we progress through. But perfection was not something I embodied, but real was. Through every chapter that I've ever documented on here, and this will be true until I stop doing this, until I'm no longer available on the internet world. Everything is real. Everything that I lived, as far as what I practiced, was real. And so at a certain point, really at right now, I had to decide, was I going to remain a theorist, or was I going to become the practitioner? Was I going to become the individual that really lives it? See, I lived it. See, when I come across information, I don't study information. Men like us, we don't study information. We don't study a way of life. We don't really sit back and theorize in that way. No, I lived the information. Every step of the way, I lived it. And I gave my all to it, what I had at each time. And that is true progress. That's what we can aim to achieve. That is what is respected by divinity. And my life validates that. Many of you guys' life validates that. But at a certain point, when your life is going good, things aren't perfect, but I live a powerful, purposeful destiny. I've traveled across the world multiple times now. I touch over 3 different currencies, all in the palm of my hand. I have multiple international entrepreneurial endeavors. I've sat with some great men and women. I'm a royal prince in the Dagomba tribe in Temali, Ghana. We're developing real cultural things there. Like, it's so many blessings that occurred in a relatively short period of time, but it all came from the belief I had. And I'm looking at it and I'm like, it's good. And it's good for a lot of you guys as well. But at the same time that it's good, we failed. And when I analyze my actions and I look at everything that's happened, I see how I let down all those that need to know how to do this, that need to see it be done, that need to be protected from the darkness that surrounds them. You know, I believe that darkness is all around, and it's individuals like us that make this domain even livable, that make this world truly, we change the world around us. You know, I literally have done things, I'm in positions in which I affect the immediate environment around me with decisions I make. Same is true for energetically and spiritually. And so we owe it. We owe it to those who can't do it for themselves to show them that the darkness does not prevail. We owe it to them to show them that you can dispel this darkness. You can dispel fear. You can dispel worry, anxiety. All of these things don't need to consume you, consume your mind. And you can decide that you're going to live a powerful, purposeful existence. Now, like I said, that doesn't mean that we don't get tested. We all will be tested. Every man must search his own soul. That's just what it is. At a certain point, every man's endeavor becomes a solo journey to where you are, as far as whose you are, as far as whose you are, who you belong to. You know, where you find yourself within divinity. That's a very important key right there. You know, so I'll probably come back with a lesson on that. Where you find yourself in divinity. And look, we're leaders, we're innovators. You know, we're the men that are responsible for the light in this world. And we can't allow ourselves to get stuck in the theories of how we can make the world a better place, of how we can change reality in the environment around us. We can't remain in the theory of it, because as long as we remain in the theory of it, we're doing a disservice, because the truth is the theory is correct. It's not even a theory. It's a fact. Imagination is superior intellect. This is what they never wanted us to realize. And I can say that in the 3 years, you know, I've learned how to feel life. See, I don't want you to take what I'm saying and logically deduct it and all of that. Like, yeah, many of us are entrepreneurs. Many of us have superior intellect. Like, that's not what we're building here. We got to learn to feel what teachers are saying. I want you to feel what I'm saying. And, you know, just think about common, you know, speech and knowledge. I mean, we say that all the time. Do you feel what I'm saying? It's like, yeah, I feel what you're saying. But no, seriously, I want you to feel what I'm saying. The theory that you have is correct. If you just put the right focus and belief behind it, you can affect the reality around it. And we owe this to the individuals that will never know this, that will never be able to do this, that will never, you know, even when I think about, you know, people that have inspired me in life, let's take my grandmother for instance. Ran a whole charity her whole life. Never seen a more giving individual. Even now, finds a way to give something every day, all day. That's all she wants to do. Beyond something I can even understand, as compassionate as I am for the people. But we need to understand that perspective from a different angle. When you encounter a truly enlightened individual, in which financial freedom is a form of enlightenment, we are all on the path to some form of enlightenment, whether you realize it or not. Even these people that we look at and see as ignorant, they know not that they too are still on a path. It just might take them a really, really, really long time to get there in the journey of their soul. That's just the truth of the matter. And so we owe it to this domain. We owe it to the people around us to to give to the light that we have. This is what I've truly learned inside of everything that I've done in the past 3 years. I mean, and things by no means are perfect now. I mean, it's so many things going on in my life right now that are things I have to deal with, things I have to face. But you know how I face them now compared to how I used to? I face them now with the understanding that I can change it, with the understanding that I can affect reality around me, with the right focus, with the right mentality, and the right surrender as well. And so I know who I am on a deeper level. I know who I am on a soul level. And I let my soul shine through into this domain, and the darkness has no chance to even affect that at all. Everything builds to the will and the light of your soul through the prime creator. You know, this is something I've learned. And it's something that I teach you here now, you know, through the documentation of this journey. You know, and I have other businesses, I have other YouTube channels. I know marketing through and through, but I'm not gonna edit this. I'm not gonna edit what I put here. Like what's here is just 100% authentic, 100% real, 100% a documented journey of this life. You know, and I do it for all those that draw power from it, draw inspiration from it, because, you know, it's not easy to evolve in this world that we're living in. It's not easy, but it can be done. It can be done.